This is 5 spontaneous minutes, first installment on the subject of capitalism and taxation. I combined the two subjects because it's hard to separate them. Everybody considers the alternative to capitalism socialism, but there's also the other side to that argument, which is monarchy. And you want capitalism to be somewhere in between those two things, somewhere in between monarchy and the old noble system, where the elite and the privileged class own all the production and the peasants do all the work. But you want something in between these extremes. You don't want to force everybody to be the same. You don't want to take away all incentive. So you want something called incentive economics. That's the objective, is to always give people a motivation to do a little better. But the system we have isn't doing that. This isn't capitalism, it is monarchy. Half the wealth in this country is controlled by people who inherited it. That's a fact. We can have all these little stories about how these bootstrap puller-uppers who are the success stories. But guess what? Most of the wealth isn't created that way. Most of it's old money, and it just keeps getting handed down because they were the right genetics, because they were born in the right family. They should live a better life. That's the logic, and it's stupid. I mean, nepotism, love for your family, certainly is. We're all guilty of it. We all feel it. It's great family policy, but guess what? It's stupid national policy. We can't let that infect, how we organize our society. And so, when you talk about capitalism, all you're basically talking about is who's going to pay the bill for a civilized society. And the capitalists don't want to pay. That's what it comes down to. And they don't want to give up the one, like I say, if you just start they call it the death tax. The death tax. What is that? Inheritance isn't, taxing inheritance over a certain level is logical. It's not some obscenity. It's not some spitting on the dead. Why, like I said, if we're going to have this thing called capitalism, we're going to have this competitive race, what sense does it make if you're going to let somebody start, halfway down the track, and you're going to let somebody else start 3/4 of the way down the track? And some people start over the finish line already, I mean, they've already guaranteed their life. They're already guaranteed success. I mean, because they can't waste the preposterous amount of money they're going to inherit. And it's just illogical. Because what happens with these people? What happens to these lazy rich, these privileged inheritees? They go to all the fancy schools and the rest of it, get these high-priced degrees, which they obviously don't earn. I mean, you can't even figure how George Bush got through high school, let alone college. But what do they do with these degrees? Anything? No. They waste them on the golf course. And so here we are partially subsidizing universities with grant money and the rest of it. And these universities are graduating, a whole segment of their class, these top 10 universities. People are never going to use this education they got, because it doesn't, work is work. It's no fun, so they're not going to waste time applying what they've learned because they don't have any incentive to do that. And so, so you want to have capitalism? Well, yeah, you do away with inheritance. Look, we have rules now where, $4 million without any tax. It's already there. I mean, it's already on the books. You can get $4 million without paying any inheritance tax. Well, that's enough. And after that, it should get steep really quick. Yeah, in the 70s we had a 70% tax rate. Well, why? Let's have a 90% tax rate for billionaires. Why not? Okay, you want to make $1 billion and squander it in your life, that's your business. But we're not going to allow it to become institutionalized. We're not going to allow that to be forever. You know, you only get the copyright expires, you know, so to speak, on your brilliance and your innovation or whatever you think you did to deserve that kind of preposterous amount of money. And guess what? It expires, and it should expire, because it just defeats the whole system to create kings and queens and you know, dukes and earls and all the rest of this crap. It's not American, and it's not logical.